Hey guys, welcome back. We're looking at Overthewire Bandit. We've solved until level 23, so we'll take a look until level 24 and few other levels, possibly to the end of it, right? So let's go ahead and connect to Bandit 24 as always. We do SSHER connect Bandit 24. Let's see, while that's connecting, let's take a look at the challenge. So it says there's a daemon listening on 30,002, which will give you the password for Bandit 25. If we submit the password for Bandit 24 along with a secret 4-digit PIN number. So if we don't know the PIN number, we have to go through 10,000 combinations to find out what the exact PIN number is. So essentially they want us to brute force, and get the key. So let's do ls-la, nothing. We know that there is something listening in 30,002. So let's see netcat localhost 30,002. And it says I'm the pin checker for Bandit 25. Please enter the password for user Bandit 24 and the secret pin number. Let's say something like hello. It says failed. There is not enough data. Hello 1234. It says please enter the correct current password. So we need to enter the correct current password. So let's go ahead and find the current password. So it should be in /etc bandit pass bandit 24. So this is the current password. Let's copy that. Let's go back to a pin checker now. Let's submit that and let's see 0000. It says the password is correct, but the pin code that we entered is wrong. So the idea is for us to keep trying this. We'll do 0001 and then 0002, and it keeps going on until we find out the correct pin number. So there should be an easier way to do this, and one of the best way that we can do is we can create a word list that contains a list of potential passwords. But since we are inside Bandit, we won't be able to use it. But traditionally, if I'm doing it, I would probably look into something like Crunch. Crunch is a tool that can do this. Is a word list generator. Let's actually install Crunch in my device and let me show you how Crunch works, right? So Crunch is installing. All right. Could take a bit of a minute. It's almost done. All right. So we have Crunch installed. So if we do crunch-h, Crunch says crunch minimum maximum and something like that. Do we have a help for crunch? Let's do man crunch. Okay, so the manual for crunch says this. Okay, so we have a lot of examples, right? If I do crunch 1.8, crunch will display a word list that starts with A and ends with 8 characters of Z, right? And if we feed, so basically this is the minimum character and the maximum character. So it will start with a minimum character and go up to the maximum character. And this is one good example. So if I do crunch 1.6 and given a bunch of characters, it would take that as an input and generate all possible combinations that start with a and then it will go to 2 characters, 3 characters, and then it will go to all the way, If I wanted to generate, only 4 characters, I would do both minimum and maximum to the 4 alone. So let's see how that works. So if we do crunch 1 to, let's say 1 and 1, let's do A, B, C, D, right? So it's generating 4 lines. That's like A, B, C, and D. Now if I do 1 and 2, this is going to generate A, B, C, D, and then A, B, A, C, so on and so forth. If I do minimum maximum, which is 2, now it's going to generate only 2 character stuff, right? So A, B, so on and so forth. Now logically thinking, if I want all possible 4-digit PIN numbers, I would do 4, 4, and then say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, all the numerics, right? All the numbers. So now it's going to generate everything, from 0, 0, 0, 0 all the way up to 0, 9, 9, 9, 9, right? So, you can see if I do something like this and do wc-l to count how much it's generating. Already it does mention like 10,000, that's exactly it, right? So that's one way if I'm not inside the SSH session by, over the wire. But this can also be achieved normally, like, we can write a small script that does this kind of a job. So let's see if we can do that. So let's actually move to temp and let's create a new directory called bf pen for brute force pen. Let's move into bf pen. So we are in bf pen. Now let's go ahead and do create a new file. Let's call it vim pen.sh. All right. So we are in. Now let's go ahead and type in the stuff. Let's do shebang. This connection is a bit lagging. /bin/bash, and let's do for I in. Let's do 0000. Let's do a double dot and 9999. Let's say do echo $I and then do it done. Alright, so now the small script is complete. Let's actually read the script. So this is what the script says. Bin bash for I, which is the variable, is between 4 zeros and between 4 nines. It's going to print out the value of I. So when I run this, like if I do bash pen.sh, this is what happens. It starts with all zeros. Let's actually look into the head and try and understand. It starts with all zeros and then goes all the way up, right? Now what we can do is we can pipe it to netcat localhost 30,002. Alright. Now it says failed, not enough supply data, so on and so forth. Okay, the reason that it says is we have to be giving the current levels password, right? Let's actually read the current levels password. Let's do cat etc bandit pass bandit 24. Let's copy that. Now let's go and edit our script vim pen sh, and here we can essentially paste our previous password. So it's going to echo that and then a $I, right? So let's see what it does now. So bash pen.sh. Okay, so it's basically doing the current level password and then this, right? So let's pipe that to netcat localhost 30,002, and it keeps going, and then it says at some point, correct, the password for the user bandit 25 is this. So we now have the password for the user bandit 25. This can also be achieved in a different way, I guess. So I can do something like grep, and okay, so I can eliminate anything that says wrong, right? So if I do grep-v wrong, vi wrong, I for case insensitive, let's see how it responds. Alright, so this is what we get. Correct, the password for user bandit 25 is this. Alright, so we have the password. That's one way of doing it. There could be other ways of doing it. Do check out what other people what other people have done in this case. So let's copy that. Let's exit out of the shell and let's do SSH here. I just wanted to edit the configuration file directly. So let's go ahead, canc, and then let's go over and then paste it. I'll just change the username to bandit25, bandit25, and then I'll update the password with the new password that we obtained. So let's go ahead, update the password, write and quit. Now let's connect to bandit25, and let's also take a look at how we can solve bandit 25 to 26. So let's see, bandit 25, log into Bandit 26 from Bandit 25 should be fairly easy. The shell for Bandit 26 is not bash, but something else. Find out what it is and how it works, right? So let's see what we have. So we have something called an SSH key. So let's read the key. Looks like a private RSA key using which we can log in. So if we do SSH-H, which is going to bring up help, we can see -I stands for an identity file. So this is an identity file with which you can log in. You don't require a username and passwords, right? So let's actually go ahead and see how we can use this. SSH-I, and then the file. Let's do the username, which is bandit26 @ localhost. Let's say S, and then we log in, but when we do log in, it's going to crash. So what exactly happened? Okay, so here they say the shell for user bandit 26 is not been bashed. So let's go ahead and find out what that is. Typically, all the shell information is stored in HV password. So in Unix, this is going to contain passwords, but in Linux, this is not going to contain passwords, but the shell information, right? So bandit 26, let's actually grep for bandit 26, the user bandit 26. Okay, so here we can see this is the user ID source, and we see user bin show text. Let's actually see if we have access to read user bin show text. Okay, so user bin show text says bin sh export term linux more and then text.txt. Okay, that seems a bit interesting because it's using more. So when more exits out of the cell, it's going to cause issues, right? So let's actually see how this works. Let me pop out this terminal, and what I'll do is I'll go ahead and do the same SSH stuff, but this time let's make the terminal a bit small, right? Let's bring it somewhere here. Let's say enter. Yes. Connection closed. Let's actually, make it a little bit more smaller. Enter. Yes. Okay. So now we can see more is rendering this page. So when I click enter, you can see how it loads. So once more is done, it technically kind of exits. So let's see how we can leverage this to break out and probably spawn a shell. So let's do man more, and let's look into execute. All right. So this one says this is how we can execute a command in a subshell, which is a bang, and then we can execute in the subshell, right? One of the other way would be to look into something called GTFO-bench. GTFO-bench contains a lot of information. So let's see GTFO-bench, and let's search for more. So this one says, you can spawn a shell, read a file, SUID, things like that. Let's see how we can spawn a shell using GTFO-bin. Okay, so it says !bin sh, and that should probably work. Okay, let's see. Let's actually pop this out, and let's go ahead and do something like this. Yes. Now let's go ahead and type in bang/bin/sh. What happened? Alright, so that did not work. Maybe let's actually try and read stuff. If I do something like cat /etc bandit pass and do something like bandit 27, I'm sorry, bandit 26 to read the password of bandit 26, and then let's go ahead and restore that, and nothing. So let's look into man more again, and let's see. Shell, the current shell is in use, all that. Okay, so we have display file name, repeat previous command, and to search for kth occurrence of a regular expression. And we have h to display the help. I'm looking somewhere in terms of executing commands. We don't know this is executing commands, but it's not working. Maybe let's try once more. Let's do that. That does not work. Now, one of the other things that we can do is, let's do man more. And can I invoke something like v? Okay, so this one says visual, right? So start up an editor at the current line. The editor is taken from environment variable visual if defined. So let's see if we can execute v. So let's say this is mode, right? If I do a v, it says cannot hit a standard input. All right. So maybe let's try it in this, right? Let's go ahead, minimize the terminal again. Let's do that, and let's do v. V goes into visual mode, and how do we spawn a shell from v or vim, right? Let's do v shell for v. It says we have to do this to spawn a shell, which is basically to execute a shell, right? So let's go ahead and try that. All right, let's do colon /bin/sh, and then what happens? Nothing happens. Let's do right. Let's do went into insert mode. All right, let's do colon /bin/sh, type, press enter or type a command to continue. Let's go ahead and do, that doesn't work. Okay, we are in an editor. V to read a file. So let's see, I think I have to press V. Alright, we press to V, and let's see E, and what does it do? Let's see E and do bin bash. Alright, so let's do E. Let's do something like cat. Let's see, bandit pass, bandit 26, only one file. Let's do V again. Let's do cat. Let's see, bandit pass, bandit 26, only one file name allowed. What is the problem? Okay, let's do E. Let's see, bandit pass, bandit 26. Alright, so that works. Okay, so what he does is it does not execute a command, but then it's able to read a file as that particular user. Right, so we have the password for the next level. Let's copy that, and I'll just echo the password somewhere here just to be sure. Let's quit out of this and quit out of that. Let's exit out and let's go ahead and edit our configuration file. Let's go over, yank this stuff, paste it over here. Let's do a comma there, and then let's change the username to 26, and let's update the passwords. The password here, let's go over and let's do paste the password. So that is pretty much it for Bandit 25 to 26, and again we got the thing for 26 as well, right? The password for 26 as well. All right, so let's actually go over, connect to Bandit 26. Let's go to Bandit 26 to 27, see how we can solve that. Bandit 26. We should have read the password for Bandit 27 if I'm not wrong, because it says once we are into Bandit 26. Now hurry and grab the password for Bandit 27. So kind of have to repeat the same. It's not just about updating shells and reading files, but so let's see. Bandit 26 will connect to this at the same time. Let's pop this out. Let's make it smaller. And now let's go into V, and then let's do E. And then let's I have to know like if there is NSH is there. Can I execute command? No. Alright, so let's do V. Let's do E. Let's see Bandit pass Bandit 27. You won't be able to read that, it's permission denied. Bandit. Okay. Let's see how we can solve this level. So we definitely need a shell to solve this, which is quite tricky, I guess. Let's actually go over to GTF opens and let's try something else this time. Okay, one of the ways that we can get a shell through V is this, I guess. We can set a variable to binsh and then execute it. Let's see if we can do that actually. So let's actually go there and do set shell equals /bin/sh, and let's do shell. Oh, okay, that worked. Let's do an ls. ls says Bandit 27 do text.txt no such file directory. Okay, cat text.txt. Let's actually put this back in place. Nothing is there. Okay, so basically the more shell is executing this, I believe. So let's see what Bandit 27 do contains. It contains a bunch of stuff. Now how are we even going to solve this? So they said we have to execute ls to solve this level. Maybe it's a hidden file. Okay, so ls-la we have .sh folder, bash rc, all that stuff. Let's look into what is in .sh. .sh authorized keys. Let's look into authorized keys. Typically crypto, keys would be there. Alright, so I don't think anything is there. Probably an empty directory. Oh, okay, so let's try and read that. SSH authorized keys. So we have one key, which probably is my public key, I guess, or somebody else's public key. Okay, anyway, let's see what we get out of Bandit 27.2. Let's read. So let's actually get a bash shell, because I'm not getting autocomplete. Oh, okay, so this is an executable, right? So let's see what I can do. If I execute, it says run as another user, set UID binary. If I do like ID, it says UID is bandit 26, GID is bandit 26, EUID is bandit 27. Now that is good information, because if EUID is bandit 27, we could probably abuse that and maybe see if we can get something out of it. So let's see. In that case, let's actually go ahead and execute this and say something like who am I? Okay, this one says bandit 27. So at least whatever we execute, it's going to execute as bandit 27, I believe. So let's see if we can cat the password, right? Bandit 27. So let's do bandit has bandit 27. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Let's copy that. Let's exit out of this, exit out of that, exit out of that again. Come on. And then let's actually edit our configuration file. So let's go over, let's yank that and paste it. Let's add a comma here and change the username to 27. Let's change the password. Paste that, write and quit. Now let's do connect to bandit 27. Alright, so we've connected to bandit 27. Let's see how we can solve from 27 to 28. So there is a git repo at SSH, okay, whatever this address is. The password of the user bandit 27 git is the same as the user bandit 27. So we already do know the password for bandit 27. Let's actually clear this. Let's go ahead and read that to reconfirm. Let's do bandit pass bandit 27. Let's copy that. Wait. Let's copy this as well. We might have to clone this repo, right? Let's actually move to temp. Let's do, okay, let's make a directory. Let's call it bandit xyz or something like that. cd into bandit xyz. Let's do git clone and then clone the repo. Let's actually copy that password. Do you want to continue connecting? Let's put in the password and enter. Alright, so we have cloned the repo. Let's move into the repo. There is a readme file, so let's actually read the readme file, and then it says the password for the next level is this, so we got the password. Let's exit out of this. Let's do update our configuration file. Let's go ahead and yank that, paste it. Let's see, let's change it to bandit 28 and let's update our password. Alright, now let's do SSHER connect to bandit 28, and let's also look into the task for bandit 28 to 29. So there is a git repo again at this location. The password is the same, so go ahead and grab it, right? So let's move into temp again and let's create a new directory. Let's call it 28 bandit, and let's move into 28 bandit, and let's clone this repo. Before cloning, let's read the password for bandit 28. Let's copy that, and let's do git clone, paste that. Let's copy the password. Oh god. Paste the password. It's good to go. So we've cloned the repo. Let's move into the repo and let's read the readme file. And it says the credentials bandit 29 and then password xxxx, whatever it is, right? So let's look into git --help and let's see. So clone is to clone a repo, init is to create a new repo, add is to add a file and things like that. Log is to show commit logs, and then grep is to print matching lines. That's fine. Branch is to create a branch. Commit records a change. Diff is going to show changes between two different commits. Okay, so I'm actually interested in the log. So let's actually do git log. So we have 1, 2, 3. The first one is fix info leak. Second one is add missing data. So this particular commit has, this commit has fixed some sort of an information leak, and going by that fashion, this particular commit may have had some leak, right? So let's see, how do I read a commit? How do I show? I should show diff, git diff. Let's give it a commit ID. All right, let's give it a different commit ID. What does that show? All right, so that's almost here, yeah. So it shows the difference. So it says username is bandit 29 and then the password is this. Okay, we got that. Let's exit out of this, update our configuration file. Let's do yank that, paste it, add a comma, 29, 29, update the password, and let's go ahead and connect to bandit 29. So while that's happening, let's do 29 to 30.